So I'm doing a video about mistakes I made that have cost me millions. One of the mistakes is...
house.
No, it's not this house. It's you and your Amazon addiction.
Listen, it's free.
Whatever.
It's free.
Yeah.
Guys, it's
It's free because of my Amex points, but I need to take it away. Give me it back. Give it back. Gentlemen, what's happening? This house. Yeah, right. Whatever. Yo, gentlemen, ladies, what's up? I want to talk about something I've been thinking a lot about, and that is some of the mistakes that I've made that have literally cost me millions. All right. Now, I am not somebody that likes to look in the rearview mirror, right? I don't think about all the regrets or the things that I didn't do. And that's one of the reasons why I truly feel like we're going to go upstairs today. The way I live my life, whether or not it's business or whatever, is kind of like, fuck it, right? I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and that's okay. I don't want to be on my deathbed or 20 years from now thinking about all the things that I didn't do that I regret, which is why I'll try something. Even if it doesn't work out, it's better for me mentally to be like, you know what? I tried it. It didn't work out, and that's okay, but I tried it. At least I can take it off the table. Because in my opinion, not knowing or thinking, oh, I wish I did this or I wish I did that, that in and of itself is worse than failure, honestly. So we're upstairs. Have I showed you the upstairs little sitting quarters? This place is so sick, real quick, right? It's a little room upstairs. We got 13-foot ceilings, and it's very, 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 very comfortable, right? Look at the furniture. Little area here to kind of chill and hang. And then outside, right, you've got the pool and everything down there. Little sitting area here, very nice. Little thing there, little chaise lounge there. And then in here is actually my wife's office. So check this out. It's pink. Yes, it's pink. But this is Tracy's office. And it is so cool. It's actually much better than my office, which is downstairs. So today what I want to do is talk a little bit about some of the mistakes that I've made that have literally cost me millions. Number one, and I'm just going to start here because I always feel like an idiot when I think about the fact that I never really invested earlier when I was younger. Now, when I was younger, I didn't have much money, and the money that I did have, I was definitely, putting to use and trying to start businesses and investing in me and all that good stuff. But the reality is I should have not been scared, or I should say I should have seen the opportunity that investing and basically paying myself first would have long term. But one of the problems with growing up without financial role models is nobody really talks about it. Nobody teaches you, hey, stupid, you need to, put money away. You need to invest in a mutual fund or, do a Roth IRA. I think about all of the money that I have lost just by not knowing or not educating myself, which is actually the second thing. And that is I'd never educated myself about money. I didn't understand it. And instead of me doing what I needed to do, which was learn about it or seek a mentor or somebody to help me understand, I would rather try and fail than regret not trying. But that being said, when I actually look back at kind of some of the things that I didn't do or I should have done, there are some glaring weaknesses that I had that I just like to talk about, because these things that I'm going to share with you today, I know for a fact have cost me literally millions. No, I don't have money, so I don't want to hear about it, right? It was more about I don't have it as opposed to how do I grow it? How do I invest? What do I do with the money that I have? It never was something that was taught to me. It was never something that I witnessed even growing up. My family, my parents, they were never wealthy. They didn't have extra money. They were all just, scraping by. And we oftentimes went without instead of, figuring out a way to make more money. It just wasn't part of the equation back then. But unfortunately, it rubbed off on me. And so I didn't have that training. I didn't have that mentor. I didn't have somebody that could help me understand the value of investing or what I should do with the little bit of money that I had. Instead of, I went out and did stupid shit, right? I didn't know enough. And I also didn't grow up in a time with the internet. And so now you literally have no excuse in terms of educating yourself. You can just go online, you can search for things, you can go and find somebody that's talking about investing and you can educate yourself. Something else that I didn't do that I'm embarrassed that I don't like to do it, and I'm still to this day a shame that I don't enjoy reading. And that's something that I know has held me back and cost me a lot of money, because instead of learning from somebody else that has been there or done that, I am the person that needs to go through it. I'm the person that needs to bang his head against the wall, mess things up, fail, get back up, as opposed to being smart, which is learn from somebody else. I wish I loved to read. I don't love to read. I like to learn. Like, learning is something that I enjoy, but the way that I learn, unfortunately, is trial and error. And I know that this has cost me a lot. I'm also stubborn, and that's something else that I'm not proud of. It served its purpose in different times in my life, being very, bullheaded and very stubborn when it comes to, just trying and keep going and just like, don't quit. Like, that's good in certain aspects, but bad when it comes to making money, and especially when you have a business. Which brings me to the next reason why, or the next thing I did wrong, which was I micromanage. I have tried to hold on to control of things that I had no business controlling. And what I mean by that is, for a very long time, specifically with Pete and Pedro, I'm going to use Pete and Pedro as the example. I've had that business now for about 11 years. And for the first 4 or 5 years, I really didn't put in the time, the work, the energy in order to build it the way that I should be building a business. It was me just kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to make sales, and I'm going to grow just because it's growing and people tried and whatever. But when I think back of the opportunity lost by not focusing and giving it the attention that it deserved and needed, I'm sick to my stomach with where we could have been right now. Now, that being said, I'm in a good position. 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I hired my buddy Mike Levy, who came in, and that was the point at which I basically tossed the keys to somebody and said, okay, let's roll. And it was something that was very hard for me to do, to basically relinquish control. But it was one of the best decisions that I ever made, because it finally allowed somebody else to basically pay attention to the shit that I wasn't paying attention to, and coming up with a strategy and a plan in order to grow and scale. And that was something that has absolutely helped. But when I think about where we could have been now, I could be a $20, $30, $40 million company if I wasn't so stubborn and I wasn't so bullheaded and I was willing to take more risk. And that's something else that has cost me, and that is not being risky when it comes to finances. It's one of those things that I am always worried about the bottom line, right? To my detriment, to some degree. I know that there is growth opportunity. I know that I could be bigger than I am, but I am so focused and worried about the bottom line and making a profit that it has absolutely stifled my top line growth. And the consensus is, well, if you grow, even if you're not as profitable when you grow, you're a bigger company, they're going to buy more stuff, and over the long term, you're going to make a lot more money. But I am very short-sighted to some degree when it comes to profit. I want to know that, okay, I'm not wasting money. I don't want to endure in order to basically bet on the future. I want to focus on now, which there are times where that is a benefit. Because during COVID, when everything kind of shut down for a little while, I had money in the bank. I was fine financially. There is benefit to not overextending yourself. There is benefit to not going wild and just trying to grow at all costs. Absolutely. You need to be smart, and this is something that you just need to understand. When it comes to starting a business or running a business, you've got to operate the way that you feel comfortable. Some people are just about fast growth. It's about growth because we're going to get acquired. Chances are you're not going to get acquired. And the other reality is that you're going to run out of money if you don't pay attention to the bottom line. But that being said, maybe instead of me making and putting a few $1 million in my pocket in a year, maybe I'd do half of that, right? I'm still making good money, but then we would use this extra money in order to grow and scale. And it starts this whole steamroller effect, right? I don't know the answer to that. I feel in my heart that I probably should do that to some degree, but I'm still not willing to basically risk it, which is one of the things that has held me back, and that is I am very risk adverse. Once you go through a really bad financial situation, like with my bankruptcy and my fitness center and stuff, that changed me. It allowed me to basically take chances where most people won't, because I wasn't scared to fail anymore. But it also made me incredibly satisfied to some degree. And also just, it made me thankful when I got out of that situation. It made me thankful when I had a few dollars in my bank account. When I had $5,000, I talk about that all the time. It was like, wait, I don't have to think about money. And that is something that I don't take lightly. And so for me, it has caused me to not swing for the fences probably as often as I should. And it's caused me to basically lose out on opportunities. And I'm just being completely transparent and honest with you. I am aware of a lot of my shortcomings when it comes to being an entrepreneur, but I also have done some things and made some really great decisions. One of the best decisions is the White Label Empire, which I'm just going to real quick mention and link to down below. All of the lessons that I have learned, I basically teach in my business community. I basically started it by creating a curriculum it's a course where I'm gonna walk you step by step through how to start a business, whether or not it's you sourcing a product to put your label on and modifying it, or going the custom route, or even a brick and mortar business. If you are somebody that wants to start a business, we can help you. And the other cool thing is that every single week I am in there and I'm doing a live training. I'm answering your questions on a daily basis. And then all of the past live trainings, there at this point, I think like over 40 live trainings. They're all like 2 hours long, where it's in part me talking about a lesson or a specific business or something that I think is going to be valuable to help you, whether or not it's marketing strategy or product sourcing or ideation. I basically go through it with you, and I post all of those videos after the recording is over. All right, typically they're going to be about 2 hours. In those, I also am answering live business questions, and then I basically do a transcript of all of the talking that I'm doing, so you can basically quickly and easily scan it to see if it's something that you want to watch or something that you need. Anyway, guys, I've got that link down below. We've got 2 different membership options. You can pay a one-time membership, $397 lifetime, or you can do the month-to-month, which is $97 a month. You cancel anytime. It is literally something that has truly changed my life. And the reason is because, at this stage, I'm pretty good financially. I'm set. I'm not like FU money, but what I get more joy and happiness and fulfillment out of now is helping you guys start your business and build your empire. And that's why I started this channel. It's the empire. I want to help you build your own empire. And so that's what the community is about. And so if you're interested, guys, I got that link down below. But the other thing I just want to mention in terms of costing me money is not being, how do I even put this? I'm a late adopter. The only thing I've ever been early on is YouTube. That was the first thing and the only thing I've ever been early. I am not comfortable with technology. And so as a result of that, I am not seeking to change. I am very reluctant in terms of change. And unfortunately, it's hurt me. It's hurt me professionally. It's hurt me to some degree personally, I'm sure. But professionally and making money is something that you need to be adaptive, and you need to take chances. You need to take risks. And for me, I do not seek new technology. I don't seek new information. I don't evolve. Me, I am somebody that is a creature of habit. And it's unfortunate, but it's held me back in terms of, making money a lot of times, whether or not it's new technology for my business or a new strategy or investing in it, or even YouTube. Even YouTube is something that I am reluctant when it comes to change, and it's held me back. I should have been evolving all this time, but during COVID, I basically just lost my mind, and I didn't want to adjust or adopt or change or look at what I needed to do in order to start growing and basically creating content that people were interested in watching now. I was still literally making content for the 18-year-old dude that I was making 10 years ago, right? Or content for them 10 years ago. And I didn't adjust or change. I stayed the same, which was one of the big problems and has held me back. It's something that I'm working on. It's something that I'm aware of, but it's not a quick fix. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about all this stuff because I know that it's really easy to get into the habit of looking at what other people have done or what other people are saying or what they're selling in terms of courses or curriculum, and you look at what they have now. When the truth is, that's only the tip of the iceberg that you're actually seeing. All of the work, all of the trials, all the tribulations, all the shit that they had to go through in order to get here, or for me, like this house, like is a big deal for me because it symbolizes all of the suffering, all of the work, all of the pain that I have had to endure over the years. And also the things that I've done right? I've definitely made some right decisions. I am somebody that will chance it. I will take a risk in certain areas and certain aspects of my life and also my career because fuck it. Like, why not? I would rather take a shot and fail than regret not taking that shot at all. And so I just want you to understand that there is no straight line to success. You're going to fuck things up. You should be messing things up or else you're not doing it right because you've got to push yourself. You've got to take chances. You've got to adopt. You've got to adapt. You've got to push yourself. If you're not growing. True growth comes when things are hard as opposed to when things are easy. And it's something that I've come to learn about myself. It's the reason why I have engraved on the back of my watch, get to work. I bought this watch when things were not good for me. And not good is relative, but I was on a downward trend in terms of my business and YouTube and this and that. And I bought it and I remind myself, I'm like, you know what? As long as I am working, as long as I am willing to show up and just try, I'll get there. And so will you. It's when you give up. It's when you decide, you know what? This is too hard. I'm not interested. But for me, the growth has come when it's been the darkest. And this typically is true for both professional and personal relationships and situations for me. It's not when things are going great, That's easy. Like when things are going great, it's really easy to be like, oh, look at me, or oh, I'm killing it. No, that's bullshit. I know for me, for a fact, that when things are comfortable, I gotta change something because I know that I'm about to get stale and stagnant. The one thing I can tell you, when you are running a business, it is something that you always have to show up for. It never is easy. Every single aspect of Pete and Pedro is hard. It's about adjusting, it's about adopting, it's about adapting, it's about change. It's about being nimble enough and willing enough and also smart enough to understand when you need to basically throw the keys to somebody else or when you need to get out of your own way. And that was something that I did that has truly changed the trajectory of my career, my business, but also my life. And it's not just business though. Asking for help is one of the most alpha things you can possibly do. If you're somebody that is struggling mentally, emotionally, ask for help. If you're somebody that is struggling professionally, ask for help. If you're just struggling getting by day to day, ask for help. It's when you don't and when you think you got the solution or you think, oh, it's just going to get better on its own, it probably won't. It's about taking action, it's about taking control, and it's about doing the deep work, and it's about pushing yourself through the darkness. My buddy Mike Levy, once again, I'm going to throw out a quote that he told me. He said, when you're going through hell, keep going. It's not something he made up. He stole it from somebody, but he told me this the other day when we were talking and having a hard conversation, and it's something that stuck. When you're going through hell, keep going. But do not be afraid to take chances and risks, because it's in the risks, it's in the uncomfortable feeling that you have in the pit of your stomach that honestly is where the growth happens. I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. But you can. Do not make some of the mistakes that I've made, and you will be much more successful than me. Thanks for hanging. See you next week.